Let me ask you more about the acting president's visit to the region and touring so many of the states there. Do you think, judging from the experiences the government has had with the militants and the attacks on oil facilities, to be specific, do you think that this visit by the acting president will cut down or stop totally the attacks from now to forever?
Well, thank you for that question. First, I want to appreciate those who are started with the responsibility of making sure that there is ceasefire. You know, the boys, the Niger Delta, Greenlanders, the Avengers, the Igbesu Supreme God group, and the rest of them gave federal government 60 days cessation of hostility. And there are people started with that responsibility, why these 60 days cessation was achieved. And I also want to appreciate the leadership of PANDEF, headed by Chief E.K. Clark and co-chaired by His Royal Majesty King Dede Spieth and Obongata, the secretary of which I belong to. I belong to the Central Working Committee of PANDEF, and also the likes of the Akwa Ibom Governor Ledomitu, who is our secretary, and King Jaja Popobo, who are key fathers and our leaders in the struggle. They have been able to make sure that there is peace. And I also want to appreciate AAPs headed by Judith Asweni, who has been able to look for a way to bring key stakeholders from the Niger Delta to make sure that there is peace. On my own, on this visitation of the vice president, of the acting president, is that he has taken a bold step. But that visitation, there are some kind of critical gaps which we experience. There's what we call a town hall meeting, and there's another thing called fact-finding. If you differentiate those two actions, you will know that this whole process is gradually being hijacked politically. We are expecting the acting president to visit the oil installations in the Niger Delta, so that the people will feel the impact that, yes, our acting president is coming for an oversight function. He is coming to see the key oil-producing communities, just like what happened in Baramatu, in Delta State. He went to the oil installation company, he went to see things for himself. Even the lies have been told by some persons that the Maritime University is not in existence. When he got there, he saw things by himself, and he was happy with the way things are going. When he came back, he went to the Palace of the Lu, he went to PTI, he went round. But what happened in other states is that it has not now come to a political jamboree where they gather people in the town hall, started asking those sort of questions. That is not how this visit ought to be. This visit is a bottom-top approach where the acting president goes to the oil-producing communities, see things for himself, see the level of underdevelopment, see how these persons are downtrodden, and see, if possible, see how the rivers are being polluted, and the ecosystem of that place. He will see it by himself, so that when his principal comes, he will know what to tell his principal. That, come, I have seen these things by myself. This is what these people are facing. These are challenges they are facing. And not for some persons to carve this thing, hijack it, and make it as if it's their own private venture. So we will not take that. That one is even sending a bad signal to the restive youths there that, come, this is what the acting president come for, but we are seeing that it's getting another direction. Except these things are properly addressed, we cannot guarantee the situation of...
You do know, of course, that the Niger Delta region has had billions of naira pumped into it for infrastructure development, and that hasn't really worked. Can you tell us if the situation will be much different now and how that can be achieved if this much attention is being given to the Niger Delta region now? I can imagine that the government will want to, again, repeat what it has done by pumping in money into that place for developments to happen, looking at health sector, looking at better water treatment facilities and supply, looking at education in that region, looking at the roads network there, just to be able to create an economies of scale for meaningful development in that area. How do you think the harmonization of this can be brought into one place, just so that we see the resultant effect of the government's plans to improve the development of the Niger Delta?
Well, I want to thank you for that wonderful question. First, I want to say that those who have cutted away with Niger Delta resources in terms of allocation accrued to the Niger Delta, those who stole those money, posterity will not forgive them because, one, we all know that if you are doing something to punish your people, you think that you are getting a leeway, you will always get a penalty in front. Even God Almighty will judge you. That is my perspective on that, and that is my take on that. I don't know who does it, but at the end of the day, we know that so much money have been pumped into the Niger Delta, so many agencies. But until this thing is taken out of politics, because situation whereby money is being accrued to the Niger Delta, when times for election comes, is same that avenue that we use in siphoning that money for election. How can that place be developed? That is one critical point. And also, we want to say that it should be a bottom-top approach. If money is going to be spent by the federal government now, agencies have been set up. There are oil and gas commissions set up in oil and gas communities, and I want to also advocate that all other Niger Delta communities should also set up oil and gas commission so that the key oil-producing communities' development will be adequately addressed and be taken care of. Just like the Esopadec, the Desopadec, the Osupadec should also be considered in other Niger Delta states. And not only that, the 13% derivation, the communities are also advocating that the law establishing that act says that that 13% should go straight to the oil and gas producing communities. It's there in the law. And not only that, if you talk about road infrastructures, the railway line, Abuja was not developed by what is coming out. It was developed by the proceeds of oil that you take from the Niger Delta. The Third Mainland Bridge was developed by the proceeds of what comes out from the Niger Delta oil. So in the same vein, if you want to transform the Niger Delta to the Dubai, to Paris and other advanced countries in the world, world-class advanced countries, developed countries, it's not this bureaucracy that you meet roadblock. When the money comes from the proceeds, companies should be given that responsibilities that come and transform Niger Delta for us with the proceeds of what is coming out from our own land. That one will give us a very straight way and we will achieve that goal. And also the Niger Delta Master Plan, designed by NEDC, it has not been implemented.
Okay, Mr. Donyegha, that part of accountability, the people, you are leading a group, and you're obviously a young man, and you're leading a group of coastal communities. But how would the people of the Niger Delta hold those that are given responsibility to carry on the implementation of these different plans? How do you hold them accountable, if you can put that in real quick?
Well, my own is that mechanism will be set in place. I'm very sure that this administration, if they can do things right, is to make sure that the community participation will be fully integrated, the state government, the local government, every other relevant stakeholder should be integrated in the money disbursed from the center to the, because I believe in true federalism, where you get what belongs to you from your own region, then pay part of it to the center. That is my belief. But the Nigerian government is not operating on that perspective, on that thing.
We have to anchor at that point. Donyegha is the president of Niger Delta Coalition of Coastal Communities.